Hello, this is a Unit 3 CSC270 Arduino Unit 3 Extra. That's a demo of pulse width modulation. And what I have here is a sketch that activates two LEDs. We see the two LEDs here, and you see that they are changing intensity, going from zero intensity to max intensity pretty fast. And the way that I'm doing that is that I've connected both of them to two different pins that can work as pulse width modulation pins. So I'm using pins 3 and 4. I have a variable called duty cycle, and I'm going to change it fairly slowly from 0 to 255 and back to 0 to 55. And output that as an analog write to the two pins, the two LEDs. All right, so I define LED 0 as an output, LED 1 as an output, and then in the loop, analog write to LED 0 duty cycle, that variable that I have, analog write to LED 1 duty cycle, so the same value, and then duty cycle equals duty cycle plus 1 modulo 256, so it's never, I don't want it to go higher than 256, and then a delay of 10 milliseconds so that I can see what's going on. And that's the behavior. So you see that when it goes to 255, 256, it goes back to 0, so that's why it goes from full intensity to low intensity to actually 0 and then back on. I can make it go slower by changing the delay here and download. Okay, so now that has downloaded, and you see that now it's going full intensity slower. So I've slowed it down by 2, factor of 2. So that's what's going on here. So let's take a look at this with an oscilloscope. That's the fun part. So I have my scope here. I'm going to move further away. And first, I'm going to show you that I'm going to connect a probe. So can I show this better? Yes. So ground first, and then one of the LEDs, and then I will ask the scope to auto start. All right. So you see the pulse width modulation going on here very nicely, and you see the duty cycle go all the way to 100%, and then it's getting close to 100%, and then it starts at 0. So let's stop this. I'm going to do single. All right, so single is good. I need a pen to show you what's going on. So that's the sort of, if the duty cycle, so here, what is it? It looks, we can try to actually, all right. So I have the cursors. So I'm going to move one cursor right here at the beginning of a period, and the other cursor at the beginning of the second period, next period, like right around here. So the delta is 1.1 millisecond, basically. So that's 1 kilohertz, roughly. So we have something that oscillates around 1 kilohertz. And so if we wanted to know the, so let's see, if we measure this, so what is this? This is about 164 microsecond over 1,000 microseconds. So that's about 16%. I'm going to approximate that to 16% duty cycle. And so what I'm measuring is the length of that divided by the total length of a period. So 160 microsecond, 1 millisecond is 1,000 microsecond. So that's roughly 16%. So let me go back to auto set and see how that goes. And I'm going to try to get it like stop right here. But I have close to 100% duty cycle. So that's when the LEDs are fully on. So that's that. So I'm going to have to move this a little further so that you guys can see better. Actually, I can move this a little better. Unfortunately, I don't have a thumb drive to put here because I have they're all at school and I'm at home with this. So, well, I'll just take photos of this with my phone and post that. Anyway, so that's the demo for Unit 3.